no, from the Zoom participants, no, or maybe in the Facebook Live, no, baka pwedeng um, can I see some heart reactions po? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Thank you po. Okay po, sige. So, sige po, sino po kaya ang pwedeng mag-share ng screen? Alright. Alright, so for today, no, we're going to discuss understanding and creating an exclusive environment for children with autism spectrum. Okay. So yeah, so for today, no, we're going to discuss no what is the definition no of autism spectrum disorder and how can we create an a safe space no for everyone with autism spectrum. Okay, and also the basics no on how we will communicate okay for children no in the spectrum. Okay, next slide po. All right. So yeah. So we have three agendas for today. No. So what is ASD? No. So we will or today no our goal is to for you to understand no what is the criteria for autism spectrum no based on the DSM-5. Okay, and also how can we create safe spaces in the household or even in the school no for someone no or a child in the spectrum. Okay? And also, what are the different effective communication styles no, for na pwede pong makatulong o para mas mapadali yung communication no natin with children with autism. Okay? Next slide po. Thank you so much. All right. So, what is autism spectrum? Okay. So, when we say autism spectrum, it is characterized by persistent deficits in social communication and social interaction across multiple contexts. Okay? So, isa po kasi sa mga red flags natin for autism spectrum is yung deficit ng isang bata okay, in social communication. So, it means that they have difficulty no in expressing no themselves. Let's say if you ask what is their name, no, let's say around 2 to 3 years old na yung bata. So tapos hindi sila sumasagot, no? So baka may delay sa speech or nakikita natin na wala silang eye contact, no? So yeah, so that's what we call deficit in social communication. And when it comes to social interaction, no, so may deficit din sila in um reciprocating, okay? Emotions, no? Reciprocating mga facial expression, no? And or even yung pakikipag-interact or pakikipaglaro ng isang bata is yun, nakikita natin na may kulang or maybe hindi nakikipag-interact ang isang bata na possible na may autism spectrum. Okay? And next is the presence of restricted repetitive patterns of behavior, interest, or activities. No? So meron silang mga um, repetitive behaviors na ma-observe natin na which is hindi normal or unusual for a child na nasa um, normal development. Okay? So later on, no, we will discuss it further. Okay, next slide po. All right. So what are the early signs or the early developmental red flags no, of ASD or autism spectrum disorder? So the first one is delayed speech or difficulty in communicating. Since I've mentioned earlier, no, so a child no, who has autism spectrum or possible na may autism spectrum, they have delayed in to their speech. Okay, pwedeng pagdating nila ng age 3 years old, hindi pa sila nagsasalita. Okay? Or pwedeng nahihirapan sila na tawagin kayo. Pwedeng mama, papa, ate, kuya. No? So that's isa sa mga signs. No? Another sign is poor eye contact. Okay? It is still under of deficit in social interaction and communication since eye contact is under ng communication. So, sila yung bata na kapag tinawag mo, is nilalagpasan ka lang. Or let's say, tinawag mo pangalan niya, tapos ihinto siya, lalapit sa'yo, pero hindi siya titingin sa inyo. Okay? They have poor eye contact. And next is little or no imaginative play. Okay? Kasi ang isang bata at the age 3 to 5 years old, no? So, um, nag-start na sila to build or to establish their imaginative play. Okay? Let's say, diyan na sila nag-umpisa ng mga play pretend, di ba? Yung mga naglalaro ng lutu-lutuan, Barbie doll, mga superheroes, cars, no? Etc. Alright? And if a child, no, napansin natin that they have poor imaginative play or delay or hindi na de-develop si imaginative play, possible po na may autism spectrum ang isang bata. Okay? And no joint attention, no, not looking in the same direction as others. Okay? So when we say joint attention, no, yung ability of the child to focus. Okay? To focus doon sa ginagawa. Or let's say you're watching a video, or let's say you're doing an action, parang mga nursery rhymes with actions, no? And you ask the child na gayahin kayo, no, doon sa ginagawa ninyo. If yung bata is, let's say, hindi nila tinitingnan kung ano yung ginagawa mo or parang tagos yung tingin sa'yo, that's what you call the joint attention. No, and that's another, no, developmental red flag for children na with autism. Okay? Next is showing limited interest in other people. No? So people in the spectrum, they prefer to be alone or they prefer to isolate themselves. Since they have deficit or difficulty in social interaction, they prefer to play alone. 'Di ba sila yung makikita nyo nandyan lang sa isang sulok sa kwarto, nagtutuktok ng gamit, o kaya nagpapaikot ng gulong, or maybe they are doing self-stimulatory behaviors, no? So, that's another, okay, developmental red flags or early signs of ASD. All right? No, highly emotional responses to change routine. Okay. So, when we say highly emotional responses to changes in routine, kasi many or children in the spectrum, mabilis po silang magbuo ng routine. They are very rigid. Okay? Let's say for a week, no, for a week, ito yung usual na sequence na ginagawa ninyo. Then the next week, bigla niyong binago yung sequence. There's a tendency na mag-meltdown yung bata. Okay? Example, no? Nung ako ay nagtuturo po sa SPED, nag-start po ako doon, mahaba yung buhok ko, no? Then, bigla ko pong pinagupitan yung buhok ko ng maigsi. Ang nangyari po, yung student ko, nagagalit sa akin. Tapos, hindi po siya sumusunod. As in, she always say no to me. Na hindi siya nagpo-follow, as if parang ibang tao ako sa harapan niya. So, tapos sabi ko, bakit kaya? Bakit kaya siya ganito? Bakit siya nagre-resist sa akin? So, doon ko po na-realize, after few days, doon ko na-realize na nagbago nga pala yung buhok ko. Okay? So, yun, nasanay siya na long hair ako, na nagtatali ako ng buhok, no? Tapos biglang one day, umigsi yung buhok ko. Okay? So, yun po. No? Another example, let's say, may naging student din po ko na 3 years old yung bata. For almost a month, ako po yung lagi niyang kaharap na teacher. Di ba po kasi usually, kapag sa SPED school po, sa private, merong shadow teacher, no? Nasa likod po siya. So, ako po yung madalas na nasa unahan niya, tapos laging face ko yung nakikita niya. And then, bigla ko pong sinwitch yung position namin ng assistant teacher ko. Parang ako po yung pretend as the assistant teacher. Then, si assistant teacher po is, siya po yung naging teacher. Okay? Nangyayari po, umiiyak po yung bata. Okay? Umiyak po yung bata kasi hindi naman siya yung kaharap ko everyday, bakit biglang nagbago? Okay? So, ganun po sila kabilis mag-establish ng routine. No, and marami pa pong mga instances na nangyayari. Yung iba po talaga as in, nagwawala po. No? Minsan, kunyari sa mall, pag nagmo-mall, laging dumadaan muna sa Jollibee bago magsi-CR tapos tsaka uuwi. Okay? So tapos biglang isang Sunday nag-mall po, tapos biglang hindi dumaan sa Jollibee, dumiretso na sa sasakyan. Okay? So may tendency po na mag-meltdown yung bata. Okay? So yan. Then showing limited interest no in other people. Yun. So yan, no, they have difficulty in social interaction. Okay po? Sige po, next slide. All right. So let's talk about the criteria no in autism spectrum. Okay. So the first criteria no under DSM-5 is what we call the deficit in social communication and social interaction. Okay. So for a child now in the spectrum, okay, so sabi, okay, typical social communication impairments for those with ASD include difficulties in social emotional reciprocity. Okay? So, children in the spectrum, no, hindi po nila naiintindihan yung mga relationship ni daddy, ni mommy, ano yung relationship nila as anak. Okay? So, parang may mga bata po na or your children in the spectrum, kailangan pong ipag-intindi sa kanila kung ano yung role ng nanay, ng tatay, ng ate o kuya sa bahay. Okay? Kasi may mga bata po na ang tingin lang po kay mami ay tagabigay ng gusto. Yung tipong kahit na niyayakap sila ni mami, no? Kasi may mga bata na ayaw nilang niyayakap sila, ano? So yun, yung tipong sinasabihan ng I love you or pinapakita na masaya yung si mami at daddy o si kapatid sa bahay. So nahihirapan po silang intindihin yun. No? So that's one of the criteria. Next is impaired nonverbal elements. Okay, include difficulty using and understanding gestures, body language, and facial expressions. No, unlike those children na nasa regular education or general education setup, diba kahit hindi po natin ipaintindi anong itsura ng angry, anong itsura ng sad face, ng anxious, and so on, naiintindihan po yan ng mga nasa general education setup. Meanwhile, if a child no na nag-aaral or nasa under ng nasa special education program and the child is diagnosed with autism spectrum, kailangan po nating ipakita sa kanila ano ba yung itsura ng angry face no in a exage way. It's just that hindi po sa pagiging OA, pero kailangan po kasi nilang maintindihan or mas naiintindihan po kasi nila kapag medyo exage po tayo or extreme yung emotions na pinapakita natin. Okay? So yun. Then, yan, same with mga gestures, no? Yung tipong hindi pwede yung kunin mo nga yun, yung kunyari utusan mo yung bata na may autism, kunin mo yun nandun sa may ibabaw ng table. Hindi po pwede yun. Hindi po nila naiintindihan kung anong ibig sabihin nung yun. Unlike those children or people na not diagnosed with autism, so mas madali pong intindihin. Okay? Next is, no, many who do speak often engage in unusual stereotypical speech such as echolalia. Okay? So, children is in the spectrum. Okay? So, madami po ang may echolalia. No, may mga immediate echolalia and delayed echolalia po sila. Yung tipo pong pag tinanong, what is your name? Tapos ulitin lang po nila, what is your name? Okay, that's an example of echolalia. Okay, kaya yung iba po, or within, kunyari, nasa school or sa bahay, kapag tinuturuan po nila natin ang bata to answer yung mga basic questions or basic info questions, so kailangan po natin ng pinaprompt sila. Pag tinanong po ni parent or let's say ni teacher, what is your name? Tapos meron pong parang bubulong dun sa bata no, na my name is, parang nag-cue sa kanya. So para po yung bata is alam niya kung ano yung sasabihin niya. Alright? So because of yun nga yung mga echolalia po. May iba naman po na delayed echolalia naman ang meron sila. So, ang nangyayari po, let's say si yung bata is mahilig makinig ng radio, FM radio. Okay, kunyari sa Easy Rock, 'di ba? Hindi po nagpo-promote, no? Let's say sa Easy Rock, no, may mga students po kasi akong ganyan. Bigla pong Nagkaklase kami sa loob ng classroom, biglang kinanta, no, yung kanta sa 96.3, yung commercial nila. So yun, 'di ba? Parang hindi po present yung stimulus, pero narinig niya po yun somewhere way before siya pumunta ng school or nasa biyahe siya, tapos inulit niya sa school. That's what you call delayed echolalia po. Okay? Next is, no, the tonal quality of their speech is often unusual or flat, with little variations in pitch or volume, or in some cases, their speech appears to serve the purpose of self-stimulation rather than communication. Okay? So, may mga bata po kasi in the room na flat po yung tone ng voice nila. My name is, yun po, di ba parang walang tonation, walang tone, walang parang tone of excitement or sadness or kung anong klaseng emotion man po ito. No? So, dun po sila, no, nakikita natin or dun natin nakikita na nagkukulang. And then, may iba po na kapag nagsalita, no, ay very loud yung voice nila. Okay? Masyadong loud yung voice. May iba naman po na sobrang hina naman yung salita. Okay? So, and then there are children din naman na yung kanilang mga voice serves as self-stimulatory behavior or a way, no, para sa mga bata in the spectrum to release yung anxiety or stress na nararamdaman nila. Yung tipong pag na-observe nyo po yung sasabihin nila, yung parang nag-humming po o yung iba parang kumakanta. No, that's what you call self-stimulatory behavior or self-stimulation. Okay po? Okay? Next slide po. Okay. So let's talk about the second criteria, which is the restricted repetitive patterns of behavior. So according to DSM-5, no, in restricted repetitive patterns of behaviors, so there are typical motor repetitions including flicking hands in front of their faces, okay, flapping hands, rocking, and spinning. Okay, so when we say flicking, mapapansin niyo po yan, yung mga bata, naglalakad, nakatayo, gumaganon po yan sila. Okay, or pwede din naman na hand flapping. Diba pag minsan nakatayo po sila, makikita nyo nagaganon. Tapos nagra-rock back and forth, yung iba sideways, tapos nag-hand flop. Okay, yung iba po, they like na mag-spin. Okay? Yung iba po tumititig pa sa araw minsan tapos umiikot. No? Or they like to na tumingin sa mga umiikot na objects. Kaya isa po sa mga obsession nila is yung gulong, electric fan, or basta anything na umiikot po. Okay? So next is these repetitive behaviors are sometimes termed stereotypic behavior or self-stimulation. So, and may continue for a few seconds or if attended for hours. Okay? Kasi, um, though sometimes, okay po kasi si self-stimulation. Okay? So, si self-stimulation po kasi, it serves as parang way nila to cope up when they feel stress. Okay? So, pero po, if hinayaan natin silang unattended, nag-stimulate po for a few hours or maybe nga 30 minutes po pwede po siyang maging cause ng hyperactivity ng isang bata in the spectrum. That's why kapag sobrang tagal na po yung self-stimulation, kailangan na po nating i-call yung attention ng bata. Tawagin na po sa pangalan or pwedeng bigyan po ng ibang activity para ma-lessen po yung self-stimulation. Kasi po kapag sobrang hyper naman yung bata or kapag naging hyperactive sila, so nangyayari po, physically present sila, mentally absent. Diba? Nandun na po sila sa kung ano yung ini-imagine nila while they are steaming. Okay? So yun po. When we say self, stereotypic behaviors. Okay? So in stereotypic behaviors, um, a behavior or stereotyping involving repetitive movements such as rocking, hand flicking, or object manipulation. So, stereotypic behaviors po, ito yung mga odd behaviors na na-observe natin for an individual in the spectrum. Okay, so yun nga, di ba po, rocking, di ba? It's not normal or unusual for a child na mag-rock, okay, back and forth or sideways for a long time. Okay? And then yan, hand flicking, no, and object manipulation. So when we say object manipulation po, makikita, ma-observe natin yan sa bata. Kunyari po, binigyan natin ng laruan na sasakyan. Okay? Tapos po, di ba, usually, kapag naglalaro po sa sasakyan, pinapagulong. Pero po, sa batang may mga autism, gagawin po, babalik na rin yung sasakyan, papaikutin po ng papaikutin yung um, gulong. No? So yun, tapos tititigan po nila. Or yung iba po talagang sinasadya po nilang magpa-spin ng objects. Okay? So, yun, para po titigan nila. Then may iba po na nagtatap ng objects. Diba? Let's say, kunyari po itong bottle, yan, tatap, tapos ilalapit sa tenga. Okay? Or maybe, yung iba po, iba-ibang objects. Yung iba po parang tititigan ng malapit, tapos biglang lalayo, and so on. Alright? Next po is the self-stimulation. No? So when we say self-stimulation, it is repetitive body movements used to stimulate one's senses, often colloquially referred to as steaming. Okay? So yun nga po, pwedeng si steaming po is a form of movements. Okay? Body movements. Yan. Pwede din po siyang rocking. Pwede din po siyang hand flicking. No? Or pwede din po na through vocalizations, no? Yung tipong minsan naririnig po natin sila, gumaganon. Okay? So yun po. Yun po yung example of yan, mga steaming behaviors po nila. So again po, no, if we left unattended yung pagse-self-stimulation ng isang batang nasa spectrum po or diagnosed with autism spectrum, it may cause hyperactivity. Okay, kaya wag po nating hahayaan na matagal po silang mag-isa. So give them activities na pwede pong makapagpa-improve ng mga focus and attention, makapag-improve ng mga body coordination, okay? So and so on. All right? So next slide po, no, I think there's a video about repetitive restricted patterns of behavior. I think we're having technical difficulty po. Sige po, if ever po, next slide na lang po. At the end of the presentation na lang po siguro yung video. Okay. So now, no, let's proceed to the in creating space, safe space, no, for children with autism. Okay? So kasi usually po, no, may maraming mga magulang po na I'm not saying na everyone, may mga magulang po kasi na pag nalaman nila na yung anak nila is diagnosed with autism spectrum, ang nangyayari po is ina-isolate na yung bata. Okay, hindi na po pinapag-interact with other children, hindi sinasama sa mall or kapag lumalabas, no, laging kunyari kung kakain man sa labas, drive-thru na lang, no, which is nakakalungkot po, no, kasi um, kahit same din po sa mga bata na nasa normal development, natututo rin po ang mga bata na nasa spectrum kapag nilabas po natin sila. Okay? Mas nalalaman po nila kung ano yung mundong ginagalawan nila if i-expose po natin sila outside. Hindi po na natin sila ikukulong sa bahay. So ano po ba yung mga pwede nating gawin? Okay, mga parang starters natin to create safe space for children with autism. Okay, next slide po. All right. So let us remember that children with disabilities are present with so many unique needs. It becomes necessary to have a whole list of strategies to engage and manage their hands. No? Kasi marami po tayong mga possible or marami po tayong opportunities na pwedeng ituro for children in the spectrum, and also hindi po natin dapat i-limit, no, yung kakayahan nila kasi they have potentials, may mga strengths and weaknesses din po sila, and yung mga strengths po na yon ay pwede po nating gamitin, okay, to enhance it or para in the future makita po natin yung potential, no, ng or yung makita po natin yung mga pwedeng magawa no ng isang bata in the spectrum. Sige po, next slide po. All right. So the first one no is respect sensory needs and be mindful of potential triggers. Okay, so kasi po pagdating sa mga bata na with autism, children with autism, they have sensitive senses. Okay? So syempre as a parent po na tayo yung lagi nilang kasama sa bahay, we should be aware no and mindful doon sa mga potential triggers, environmental triggers nila sa bahay. Let's say, ang bata po ay sensitive pagdating sa sounds. Okay? Yung iba po, minsan ayaw yung tono ng boses. So tayo po, we should, kunyari po, ang boses natin is medyo malakas. Okay? So let's say ang boses po natin is medyo malakas, medyo malaki. So let us speak softly kung nasa bahay po tayo. Kasi pwedeng kapag na-trigger po natin yung sa bata, possible po kasi na mag-meltdown yun. No, kaya kung gusto man natin na masanay sila, let's say, sa kung ano yung tone ng voice natin, unti-unti po yung proseso. Okay? Then may iba naman po na ayaw nila ng sobrang maliwanag. Okay? So yun, we should be parang mindful, we should be parang careful din tayo and observe, no? Observe natin kung ano yung mga potential triggers nila. Kasi let's say po yung naging student ko na ayaw po sa tunog ng tricycle. Kahit po na nasa ikatlong kanto pa po yung tricycle, naririnig niya na po yung tunog. Tapos ang nangyayari po, tumatakbo siya dun sa kwarto nila, tapos nagtatakip ng tenga at sumisigaw. Okay? So, yun po, no? So, may mga procedures po na ginagawa para maging exposed po yung bata. No, o malesen yung response niya towards dun sa tunog po ng tricycle. And I think there's another parang time no to teach that. Okay? So, yun po. Just remember, be or respect sensory needs and be mindful sa potential triggers ng mga batang may autism spectrum po. Okay, next slide, next slide po. Okay. So, in creating safe space, we should remember na, okay, so be aware of the child's individual needs. Okay? So, under po niyan, so kailangan po kasi bawat bata ay may mga kanya-kanyang pangangailangan. Okay? And yung pangangailangan po na yun, hindi naman kailangan 100% na ibigay natin, but we should be, di ba, we should try our best to parang to give. Okay? Sa kanila yon. Okay? So kasi it helps to maximize their potential. It helps them na ma-improve kung ano man yung mga difficulty nila no in all aspects or sa mga skill areas po. Okay? Next is be involved in planning their activities. Okay? So malaking tulong po kung ang mga magulang no ay aware sa kung ano po ang tinuturo no sa school sa anak nila na diagnosed with autism spectrum. Kasi po para nakikita natin kung ano yung progress ng bata sa school and nako-compare po natin sila when it comes sa behavior. Ano po ba ang behavior ng bata sa school? Ano po ba ang behavior ng bata sa bahay? So, kung tayo po, active tayo in planning kung ano yung mga activities na pinapagawa natin, possible po kasi na mapagawa din natin siya sa bahay. No? So, parang kumbaga pina-follow up and it helps no to promote independence sa bahay na nakikita o natututunan po ng bata um, na maging independent. No? Kasi sooner or later, di ba, hindi naman natin sila makakasama forever. Okay? So, yun po. Next is use visual schedules. Okay? So, children in the spectrum are mostly visual learners po. Kaya, um, we should use no visual schedules para makita nila ano yung gagawin nila within the day. Kasi nakakatulong po yun to improve yung kanilang motor planning. nakaka-improve po, na-improve, nakikita din, para na-less din po yung frustrations nila. Kasi po, through visual schedules, napaplano nila yung araw nila. And since they are rigid, mabilis po silang mag-build ng routine, at least, di ba, pwede nating pag-iba-ibahin. Hindi po nabibuild yung routine doon sa bata. Okay, so, and then, nakikita nila kung ano yung gagawin po nila within the day. Okay, and then be generous with sensory breaks in quiet areas. Okay, kasi syempre po kapag sobrang daming stimulation, sobrang dami pong mga stimulus ang binibigay natin, sobrang daming activities ang binibigay natin, it may cause stress dun sa bata. So, ang mangyayari po kapag sunod-sunod naman yung pinapagawa natin, okay, ay um, yung bata po is magme-meltdown din. Parang tayo rin naman po, kapag, di ba, sobrang daming sa trabaho man to, sa school, o kung saan man po yung career na meron tayo, kapag sobrang dami nating ginagawa, nagbe-breakdown din tayo. Same with them, no? Since po, mas lalo sa kanila, extra challenging ito dahil, yun nga po, may difficulty sila in processing, no? Ano yung ginagawa. So kapag sunod-sunod po, hindi pa nila tapos i-process si activity 1, nag-proceed na tayo kay activity 2. So may tendency po na mag-breakdown sila or pwedeng hindi na po nila gawin yung pinapagawa natin. Next is, no, ensure your space is sensory friendly. Okay? So kasi may mga bata po na hypo and hypersensitive. So it's okay po to expose them those objects, to those things na hindi sensitive sila. Pero po kasi hindi po natin sila pwedeng biglain. Kaya as much as possible po, we should create a space, let's say sa bahay, no, na parang sensitive friendly for them. Para hindi rin po makapag-cause ng behavior triggers sa kanila. Okay? So, or for children with autism spectrum. Okay? Next is set up your activity areas, no? So ideally, no, kung kaya po sa household natin, we should give them no space for activities. Para po kasi alam nila kung saan lang sila magtatrabaho, kunyari po doing assignments and let's say magko-color and all, may designated area lang po. Okay, para din po kasi yung activity area na yon is doon lang po talaga yung workplace niya. Kasi po kapag maraming mga visual na nakikita siya, so ang isang bata, may tendency po na doon siya mag-focus. So nababawasan po si focus and attention nila doon sa kung ano yung pinapagawa natin. So kaya in setting up areas po, avoid posting too much pictures, avoid yung colorful paints, no, and so on. So as much as possible, simple lang po. Yung mas less na visual stimulus, mas okay po for individuals or children with autism spectrum. Okay? Next slide po. Next is to create, okay, um, create structured routines and activities and then communicate. Okay, so importante po since yung pagiging rigid po nila gawin nating functional. Okay, so kasi po kung gagawin nating functional ang pagiging rigid ng mga batang may autism, it promotes independence. Okay, so yung mga structured routines po na parang mga daily activities natin sa bahay, yung simpleng paggawa po ng mga household chores, pwede po natin siyang gawing structured routines for individuals in the spectrum. Okay, and also, no, communication, no, we should give them praises, very good job, or bigyan natin sila ng mga reward, yung mga objects po. Kung ano man po yung rewarding na object sa bata. So, pwede po natin itong ibigay. Okay, next slide po. Alright. So, yun. So, always remember, ito na po yung sinasabi kong visual schedule po. No? So, since it's part of the communication, so we should do visual schedules. Okay? So, assign children helper responsibilities or roles. Okay, so wag po nating gawin or wag po nating kaawaan yung bata na diagnosed with autism na kawawa naman kasi yung anak ko, kawawa naman yung pamangkin ko, diagnosed na nga with autism spectrum, tapos uutusan ko pang gumawa ng gawaing bahay. No? So wag po nating isipin yan. Hindi po sila kawawa. Tinuturuan lang po natin sila kung paano maging independent. So importante kaya po kailangan ma-involve po sila doon sa mga ginagawa natin. Yung simpleng pag-mix po kunyari ng pancake, pagbabati ng itlog, pagprito ng hotdog, pagwawalis, paghuhugas ng plato. Simpleng bagay lang po yun, pero nakakatulong po yun sa mga bata na um, ma-promote yung independence. Okay. Next po is be as consistent as possible in daily routines and activities. Okay? So, um, give time po. Tutukan po natin yung mga anak natin na diagnosed or children in the spectrum. Give time na turuan po natin sila at maging consistent tayo doon sa kung ano yung tinuturo nila. Since po ang goal kasi for special education is to be independent, so kaya kailangan po matyaga din po tayo sa pagturo sa mga anak natin na diagnosed with autism spectrum. Okay. So, and then, next po is use visual supports such as photos, videos, and diagrams when possible. Okay, so kaya kung mapapansin niyo po, kung may kakilala kayo na um, in the spectrum, so makikita niyo po na mas mabilis silang natututo using visual aids. Sa pictures ba nito, sa videos, no? So kasi mas madali pong nare-retain sa memory nila kung ano yung nakikita nila kaysa po sa naririnig. Okay? So yun po, kaya yun din po yung importance ng visual schedule. Kung ano po yung pagkakasunod-sunod. Pero wag naman po yung sobrang dami yung ilalagay natin sa visual schedule nila kasi pwede din pong maging, again, ma-overload po sila sa information. Okay? Next po is to ensure that any new stuff or new activities are introduced in a very consistent way. Since po they are very familiar with routine, so kaya kailangan po unti-unti ini-introduce natin yung bagong activity sa kanila para hindi po sila mabigla at to avoid din po yung mga meltdowns na mangyayari kapag nagbago po tayo bigla ng routine. Okay? So, yan. Next slide po. Alright. Next is keep language concrete and provide step-by-step expectations. Okay? So, yun. We should be concrete pagdating po sa pakikipag-communicate or sa language na ginagamit natin sa bahay. Kung usually po ang language naman natin sa bahay ay Filipino o nagtatagalog po tayo sa bahay, okay lang po naturuan natin yung anak natin na may autism Tagalog. Okay? Kung kayo naman po ay English speaking, okay? So, pwede naman po no mag-English sa bahay. Kasi po to avoid confusion din po dun sa bata kung ano yung ginagamit na language in the household. Okay? So kasi po through language, syempre mas nagkakaintindihan po tayo kung ano yung ginagawa natin, 'di ba? Or kung ano yung sinasabi. Okay? And then step by step expectations, wag po natin binibigla sa kung ano yung goal natin sa anak natin. Kasi po they learn slowly. Okay? So kaya kung ano lang po muna yung kaya niya, let's say within the semester na nasa school siya, yun lang po muna. Okay? Mahirap po yung ipupush natin yung bata. Tapos we're setting the standards high, we're setting expectations high. Tapos pag hindi na-achieve ng bata, tayo po o yung parent po ang nadi-disappoint. No? So nakakalungkot naman po yun. So tingnan din po natin kung hanggang saan lang yung kaya ng anak natin. Okay? Next slide po. Okay. So next is, okay, so yeah. So parang in creating improving language and also step-by-step expectations, we should try not to give verbal directions all at once. Hindi po yung katulad natin na pwedeng utusan ng 5 utos sa isang salita lang po. So, kunyari, kung ang gusto lang po natin ay ipakuha yung tubig sa ref, Yun lang po muna. Tapos po pag nagawa na niya yon, saka po ninyo isunod yung sunod yung utos. Okay po? So yan. So kasi po, yun nga po, pag sunod-sunod naman po yung mga verbal commands na binibigay natin sa bata, hindi, since ayun nga po, yung deficiency sa processing ng information, so pwedeng yung iba po hindi nila magawa o hindi ma-retain sa kanila. Okay? Next is don't use sarcasm or teasing language. Kasi po, sila ay very gullible. Literal din po sila kung mag-isip. That's why hindi po pwede yung parang kung paano po kung paano minsan tayo makipag-usap sa ibang bata, okay? O sa mga kasama natin sa household. Next is give choices whenever possible. Okay? Para for them to decide alin naman din po yung gusto nila. No? So hindi lang po lagi yung gusto natin, give them chance to choose kung ano yung um ano yung gusto nila. Okay po? Sige po, next slide po. Okay, next. So last po is to focus on student strengths. Okay, so yun po, importante po na improve natin kung ano yung strengths ng bata. No? Kahit na po may means man tayo na i-enroll sila sa mga extracurricular activities or kahit hindi tayo capable financially pero pwede naman po natin gawin sa bahay. So focus po natin yung strengths nila. Kung gusto po nilang mag-drawing or interested po sila sa pag-drawing, give them crayons, give them pencil. Okay? So, yun. Or kunyari, interested po sila in cooking, involve niyo po sila sa pagluluto. Start po natin pwede sa pag-spread lang ng mga palaman. Tapos, sunod po, i-guide natin sila kung paano magprito ng hotdog, ng itlog, kung ano man po yung mga food natin sa house. Okay po. Sige, next slide po. Okay. So, yan. So, yun po, no, just always remember na yung parents po ang number one supporter ng mga batang yung parents po mismo ng mga bata na nasa spectrum po ang number one supporters nila. Okay po? And the last part no ng aking talk po is about the communication strategies. Okay po. So, yun nga po since they have difficulty, they have deficiency in communication. So, ano po ba yung mga pwede nating gawin? Um, ano po ba yung mga pwede nating gawin para ma-promote or ma-enhance natin yung communication skills ng mga batang may autism spectrum? Okay po. Sige, next slide, ma'am. Okay. Strategy number 1 is to use communication boards. Okay? So, using communication boards, so yun po, same din po, may mga visuals din po ito, may mga pictures din po to. So some children with ASD, such as children with nonverbal autism, may have difficulty speaking. Communication boards enable nonverbal to express themselves by pointing or gesturing at images, which might be photographs, illustrations, or symbols. And communication boards can be highly sophisticated pieces of technology or devices as simple as bulletin boards. Okay? So, si communication board po, pwedeng ito ay um, printed po siya, no? Printed na parang set of pictures na nasa bahay. Tapos po kung kunyari may gusto yung bata na sabihin, ipo-point out niya lang po yun. Or pwede pong gumamit ng mga gadgets or iPad or tablet to use communication boards. Okay? Next po. Okay. Next is using Picture Exchange Communication System or PEX. Okay? So PEX po is also a way of parang to communicate for children in the spectrum. So some children or similar to communication board, PEX uses images to present thoughts or represent thoughts and requests. Though the use of PEX, children with ASD can quickly and efficiently communicate specific needs, whether to their therapists, their family members, and to others. So, si PEX po kasi, naka-cut out pictures po siya. Okay? Tapos, ang gagawin po ng bata, lalapit. Let's say, ang gusto po ng bata is to play trampoline. Okay? So, kung yung bata po is na-achieve niya yung stage 6 ng paggamit ng text, so kukunin niya po yung I want strip na nandito sa taas ng image. I want, tapos kukunin niya po yung picture ng trampoline, ididikit po dun sa box. I want to play trampoline ang ibig sabihin po. Okay? So, it is a way for children in the spectrum to communicate kung ano yung gusto nila. Mas specified po. Okay? I want, I feel, I see. So, may mga ganun po si PECS. Okay? Next po. Next is the using speech generating devices. Okay? So, in speech generating devices, or ito yung mga tinatawag po nating alternative augmentative devices. Okay, or communication devices po. So sila po, karamihan po ay gadget na po yung gamit. So aside from visuals, may auditory na pong kasama. Parang pong yung mga laruan ng bata na kapag pinindot, ano yung sound ng cow, ano yung sound ng dog. So yun, ganun po ang gamit ni um, um, speech generating devices. Unlike po kasi si PEX, pure picture lang po. Pero si SGDs po is gumagamit po ito ng visual and at the same time audios po ang ginagamit. Okay? So yan po. Right. So I think that's the end no of my presentation. So but before I leave, okay po, meron po akong video na iiwan sa inyo. This is one of my favorite videos na napapanood ko po sa YouTube.
We are all different, and that's wonderful. Some differences are easy to see. Height, hairstyle, eye color, and so on. Other differences can't be seen. Our favorite foods, fears, or special skills. Interestingly, the way we see the world is also different. For instance, what do you see in this drawing? Most people see a duck, but some of you might have seen a rabbit. Whichever you saw, you are correct. This is just a trick drawing to show you that all brains work differently. The brain is your body's computer. It works differently for all of us and controls how you learn. That's why we are all good at different things. How you feel, which is why we all feel different emotions. And how you communicate. Sometimes the brain is connected in such a way it affects senses and how we perceive and read situations and interactions. This is known as autism. Many people have autism, so it's likely you already know someone who is autistic. And for this reason, it's useful to know a little bit about autism. The special wiring inside an autistic brain can sometimes make the person good at tasks we may find difficult, such as mathematics, drawing, or music. It can also do the opposite, and activities we find too easy are incredibly difficult to them, such as making friends. The senses constantly send information to your brain about your surroundings and other people. However, when a person's brain and its senses don't communicate well, the brain can become overwhelmed and confused, affecting how they see the world. Picture yourself walking down the street. This is how an autistic brain may experience the same walk. Scary, isn't it? Sadly, in many cases, the person can't say out loud how they feel, So even though there's chaos going on in their heads, they seem okay on the outside, unable to ask for help. We will develop behaviors to help us feel calm in uncomfortable situations. We may look away, hug ourselves, chew our fingernails, fidget, bite our lips, and so on. Equally, autistic people develop behaviors that help them cope with these intense moments. These actions may seem unusual, but they're just their way to feel calm. When they happen, it means they're having a hard time. The kind thing to do is not to give them an even harder time by getting cross, ignoring them, or mocking them. Remember, just because a PlayStation can't read an Xbox game, it doesn't mean it's broken. People with autism need friends who are willing to take the time to know them. With good communication and plenty of patience, everyone would be better off. People with autism are not ill or broken. They simply have a unique view of the world. And with a little support from their friends, they might just be able to share that view with us. Autism can make amazing things happen.
All right, thank you so much. That's the end of my presentation po. I hope na you learned something no about autism spectrum disorder. So yun po. Thank you so much po.
Thank you so much for that insightful talk, Miss Bahada. Ngayon ko lang na-realize that the environment, family, and having a support system greatly impact people living with autism. Lalo na yung any other definition of autism and creating a safe place for people with autism. How about you, partner?
Yes, thank you so much, partner. Actually, ako partner naman, ang naging aha moment ko was, sabi mo nga 'di ba, yung pag-create ng safe space for those na may autism. Siguro ang naging aha moment ko was yung hindi natin sila, kumbaga, parang in a way parang bebabyhin na isi-spoon fed na lang natin sila. Kumbaga kung may mga chores na pwede naman nilang gawin, no, kunyari yung pagtulong, kunyari pag nagluluto yung parents nila, paglinis ng very, very light, no? Or anything na household chores, pwede naman din silang turuan, no? So, kumbaga, bigyan natin sila ng role sa ating mga household, especially for the parents here na meron silang child na merong autism. And doon naman din sa video na napanood din kanina, very insightful din kasi yun nga, hindi mo sila naman, kumbaga sana hayaan na walang kaibigan, no? Minsan marami ka ring matututunan or malalaman sa kanila. And siguro quick survey lang, I just wanted to ask, sino po ba dito ang naka-attend ng Angels Walk last Sunday? Can I see a heart or thumbs up sa reaction or sa chat box natin dito sa Zoom? Yan, meron akong isang nakita. How about yung iba? Meron pa po ba naka-attend nung Angels Walk last Sunday? Yan. Ayan. So, meron iilan sa atin, no, nakasama here, naka-attend sa Angels Walk last Sunday. So, to share with you, it's amazing na ang daming talented na mga kids na merong autism, no? Yung iba may mga singer, karamihan singer eh. Merong iba dancer, may pianist pa. So, talagang, ano natin, sabi nga kanina ni Miss Carla, no, yung strength nila, ay turuan pa natin sila para mas ma-improve yun and mas ma-develop pa yung strength na meron yung mga children with autism, no? So how about ang ating participants, no? Just to ask you, what's one thing na natutunan nyo for our first session? That's for our first session pa lang, ah. Ayan, so wala pa tayo sa second speaker natin. Can you please type your answer sa ating chat box? What's one thing na natutunan nyo kahit keyword, no? Hindi naman kailangan na paragraph, kahit keyword, sentence, one thing you'd like to share dito sa mga kasama natin sa Zoom. na natutunan nyo from our first session. So, sabi natin kanina sa household, huwag mahihiya. Feel free to type your answers sa ating chat box. Yan. Or kung medyo nahihiya, pwede nyo din naman ilagay na nakadirect lang sa akin, no? Ako na lang magbabasa. Anonymous ko na lang babanggitin. Ayan. Alright, so we have here from way, schedule, and environment is crucial for autistic people's welfare. Agree. Correct, no? It was really highlighted din kanina. So we also have here from Carlos Miguel, what autism spectrum disorder is all about and the ways on how to show safe spaces with children with autism. Yan. Thank you so much for sharing. How about yung iba? Anything to add? Alright, anything to add sa aha moment or baka nahihiya pa medyo inaano pa nila, ina-absorb pa nila yung mga learnings. Alright. So now, again, thanks